excited that everybody is here tonight. Again, this is Transformative Advocacy with Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania. It is not a beauty pageant. I always like that part of it. I want to introduce my host for the evening, Barb Zablotney, who is Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania 2018, correct?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I looked it up earlier today to make sure I was going to get the right year.
Yep.
So
That's me.
and she is a wheelhouse. She is the she ever since we have met, we have been fast friends, and we just spending time together and doing projects together. So I'm so excited to be able to have her with us. And also my other guest tonight that you will see here is Kristin Rebstock. And Kristin, you are going to have to tell me what year, because I do not remember. So sorry.
That is fine. I am Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania 2010.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am Vicki Landers, founder and CEO of Disability Pride PA. I am a white woman with weird fruit punch colored hair, I think. Purple glasses, I have a white t-shirt, and in my background, I have a blue screen that says, "What does Disability Pride mean?" And then right behind me is a great picture of wheelchair art, which I've done with a group in the past. I am going to turn this over now to Barb. Please make sure that you describe yourself, and everybody that comes on, please describe yourself for the folks who are blind or have low vision. And I'm turning it to you.
Thank you so much, Vicki. As Vicki said, my name is Barb Zablotney. I am a white 35-year-old woman, and I have blonde hair, dark frame glasses, and my camera's angled so you see the ceiling more so. So I kind of have a little double chin here going on. And I do have a torrid top that is black with rainbow splashes of color all through it on. And I also have very visible tattoos on my arms as well that are colorful. I am the president and current state coordinator for the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization. Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization has been under my leadership since 2019, and I have Kristin as my vice president, and we have an amazing board of directors as well, and we are part of a larger organization known as Miss Wheelchair America, not to be confused with Miss Wheelchair USA. We are two completely different organizations. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania is not a beauty pageant, but rather an advocacy-based organization. Its mission is to provide pretty much a platform for women who use wheelchairs for full-time public mobility, and to help them advocate for their chosen platforms that they feel passionate about. And it really helps to promote sisterhood, help share resources, help network, and help them get involved with their community and help them see the bigger picture. I usually tell people that this is really the start of people's advocacy journeys and not the end destination. This is just the beginning, and so many more things come from it. For me, I got involved and didn't think I was going to win, and I won, and it really changed my life for the better, and I couldn't be more grateful for this opportunity. And as a result, that is why I feel so passionately about it. I feel every woman who uses a wheelchair, deserves to have the same opportunities presented to them that I did, because oftentimes we are overlooked in society and don't really get an opportunity, and we often feel left out and like we're alone because people don't understand us. And to be with an organization where you feel that camaraderie and people understand you regardless of your disability is just really amazing. And also, I wanted to mention that our applications are currently available. We are accepting applications until July 15th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the last time you can send the applications for this upcoming competition year. The applications can be found on our website at www.misswheelchairpa.org. And I'm sure Vicki could go ahead and put that in the chat for everyone to go to. You can also check out our Facebook page at Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania as well. We have a pinned post that gives you the link to the Google form to fill out. If anyone needs any help with the Google form to fill out, I know some people have been having issues, go ahead and reach out to us on our Facebook page or via email. There's a comment thing on our website. It's sent right to me and I can help troubleshoot you through those things. Next, I want to introduce, like I said, my vice president, Kristin, who is also the ambassador coordinator for our organization. And I will let her explain a little bit about what the ambassador program is all about.
Thank you, Barb. As I was introduced earlier, I am Kristin Rebstock, the current Vice President and Ambassador Coordinator for Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania. And I wanted to talk to you guys.
Can you describe yourself?
Oh, yes, I apologize. I am a white female, 40 years of age. I have brunette hair for the most part with a little bit of gray predominantly in the front, much to my chagrin. And I have navy eyeglasses, and I am currently wearing a purple floral dress. And I use a pink power wheelchair, which I really enjoy because it's brand new. So I wanted to tell you all a little bit about the ambassador program. Currently, we have 7 ambassadors who you will meet later on in this webinar. And they are all fantastic and have a wide variety of platforms which are based on disability issues that they are each passionate about. For this upcoming competition year in October, we will be accepting 5 ambassadors for the 2022 year. So how that happens is that participants must compete in the competition. And when they are not selected as our current Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania, they are given the option to work with me as an ambassador. And the reason why the ambassador program was originated in 2019 was because Barb and I got to talking and we realized that there are so many women throughout Pennsylvania, nationwide really, but especially in Pennsylvania, that have very important platforms that need to have their light shone on those issues. And so the ambassador program gives these women the opportunity to share and grow in their knowledge of their platform. It provides networking opportunities, sisterhood opportunities, and we have monthly learning workshops where they can learn skills and tools that will help them develop as a potential title holder should they decide to compete the following year. So far for this year, we have been fundraising to provide a travel stipend for the women that are accepted. To date, we have $200 for each participant. We hope to continue to fundraise for that leading up to the competition, and we will certainly give a final total for that travel stipend once that has been determined as the final amount. But we are very excited to do that because in the pre-COVID times, it was very much essential and very much a part of the experience for our women to travel throughout the state of Pennsylvania to not only share their platforms, but also issues that are important to them. They can range anywhere from home and community-based services to employment, housing, all kinds of things. And I'm sure that you'll hear later on in the webinar all of the issues that these women are passionate about. So I will move it back to Barb, but I am more than happy to answer any of your questions regarding the ambassador program. You essentially have the role of a title holder, just without the crown, but you do have a sash, which you'll see the ladies are wearing tonight, and you have all the responsibilities and all the exciting stuff that comes along with being a spokeswoman for Pennsylvania. Thank you. Back to you, Barb.
Thank you, Kristin. And thank you for all you do for the ambassador program as well. Next, I want to introduce Jessica Gardner, if we could spotlight her. Jessica Gardner is our current title holder, and I will go ahead and pass it off to her to introduce herself some more. Go ahead and describe yourself, Jessica.
Thanks, Barb. I am a white female. I'm 35 years old. I have a black top with pinkish orangish flowers, and I have a sash on it. It is white, teal, and pink. Love the colors. I have a sparkly crown, and you can't see it, but I am using a pink power wheelchair, pop star pink to be exact. And as Barb said, I am the current Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania 2021, and I didn't start out as a Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania. I actually spent a year as an ambassador, and I will always forever say the ambassador program is the best thing since sliced bread. But anyway, my platform is for the past 2 years, I've been working to eliminate service dog fraud through education, advocacy, and working with legislators. It's a issue that is near and dear to my heart. I'm very passionate about it. Service dog fraud is harmful to the handler, the service dog businesses in the community, and I just want to get my message out there and across. So that's my passion, and you can follow me. I have a title holder page. It's Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania 2021, Jessica Gardner.
Thank you, Jess. And we will catch up with Jess after everyone gets to meet the ambassadors, and we will have a more in-depth conversation so you guys can learn more about Jessica and hear more about her experience and really understand how she grew from her role as an ambassador into an effective title holder. And also she will be going to nationals, which is virtual this year in August. So I'm sure she will also be discussing that a little bit. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and ask for our first ambassador to be highlighted, which is Amanda Urgolites. Amanda Urgolites is a 2020 and 2021 ambassador. She has been involved since the beginning of the ambassador program. She's one of our original people that came and took a chance, and I will let her describe herself, and I will ask her some questions for you guys to better understand her and get to know her a little bit. Go ahead, Amanda.
Hello, I am Amanda Urgolites. I am a 24-year-old white woman with short-ish blonde hair, and wearing a rainbow striped shirt. I have thick black glasses. I'm wearing my sash, And behind me is a yellow tapestry with white flowers.
Awesome. So, Amanda, first I'm going to start with, would you like to tell everyone what your disability is?
My disability is something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And long story short, it causes extreme dislocations, and that is why I'm in a wheelchair.
Did you want to explain anything more about that? Just a little bit more for those who
Sure.
may not know what,
Right.
Just very short.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a collagen disorder. So the parts of your joints that hold your bones together is defective in my body. So any small amount of movement or even a hiccup could dislocate ribs or my hips and stuff like that. So.
All right. I think we'll move on to the next question. So how about we go into, why did you choose to become part of Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania?
I think the main reason that I chose to become a part of Miss Wheelchair PA is because I would eventually like to become a public speaker and just an advocate for the disabled. And I sort of saw this as a stepping stone, and I no longer see it as just a stepping stone, but just a massive part of my story. And it has become so much more than like a step in the right direction. It is a massive piece of who I am.
And why, I know that you always say how you really appreciate the sisterhood and stuff. Do you want to explain why the sisterhood is so important to you?
Right. I have only been disabled for about 4 to 5 years now. And up until that point, and up until when I became a member of the Miss Wheelchair PA community, I had nobody in my life with disabilities. Barb was actually the first disabled woman that I had ever met. And to have women that are like me and like-minded, and I can go to them and say, this is really stressing me out, and they have the same experiences or can help me through it because they've been in the paths that I'm going through currently.
That definitely is really important to have that camaraderie there. The next question I have is, do you want to talk about a little bit what you've accomplished with the ambassador program your first year in these last 8 months? Whether that's
Sure.
personal or towards your goals in life, whatever that is.
My platform is the arts and how it relates with the disability community and how it can be healing and just a great way for the disabled community to express themselves and connect with the able-bodied community. So I have currently been really working on a lot of disability art projects that I will be releasing. I am hopefully going to be making some appearances at my local library soon, now that they're opening back up. And I have been getting a lot more, sorry. I have been getting more involved with my local youth in the area and becoming like a little bit of a chaperone and just starting to grow that relationship, because it's so important for the youth to understand that we are just people. We just have different passions and a slightly different lifestyle.
And to wrap this up quickly, what does disability pride mean to you?
To me, disability pride is more than just being proud of being a disabled woman, but more of being proud of every aspect of who you are. And at first, I was not proud of my disability, but I have come to a place where it is who I am. It is a piece of who I am. And I quite honestly would not want to be anybody but myself as a disabled woman, because it has changed my life in a lot of ways. And I'm a much better person now that I understand this side of the world than I ever was before. And that's disability pride.
That's amazing, Amanda. And, we are so grateful to have you as part of our organization. And before we end this, what would you recommend to any woman who is thinking about maybe participating with the organization? What do you say to them?
Take that metaphorical jump. I had no clue what I was doing. I was a nervous wreck. I had a panic attack before the event, but it really did change my entire life. The absolute least, like in the scale of things that could happen, you're at least going to make friends. And that is so important, the disability community, to make friends, to make connections, to learn new things. And those are the biggest things with the Miss Wheelchair PA program, as well as the ambassadorship program. It's just, I've learned so much and gained so much more respect for other disabled women and becoming myself as a disabled woman.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And if anyone would like to follow Amanda and her advocacy journey, she has a public figure page that is 2021 Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Ambassador, or 2021, Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Ambassador, Amanda Urgolites. So go ahead and give her a follow and to learn more. And we also share all of the ladies' stuff on the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Facebook page as well. The next person I would like to highlight is Chasar.
Hello. My name is Chasar, and I am a white 30-year-old woman in a manual wheelchair. I have blondish brownish hair, and I'm wearing a black and orange and white dress.
All right. So do you want to let everyone know first what your disability is?
Sure. I was born with spina bifida, which is a disability that happens when you're born. Your spinal cord is not fully formed. So in my case, it wasn't formed around the L3, L4 level. So growing up, I used braces to walk, but as I've gotten older, it's gotten a little bit more difficult to walk. So I use a manual wheelchair because I have some weakness in my legs and some paralysis.
And do you want to explain why you chose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
Sure. So before I met Barb, I had briefly heard about the Miss Wheelchair America program. I wasn't sure how I felt about a beauty pageant. So I had some misconceptions about what the program was about. Barb, I think we met maybe 3 years now at an event in Philly, and we hit it off, and she talked to me about the program, and I started to realize how beneficial it would be for me to join, because it's helped me with my advocacy and just being a leader. And so I took the jump, as Amanda said, and I tried it. So I loved it. And this is my second year involved with the program. So I think it's been a great experience so far.
Do you want to explain, I know you also kind of appreciate the sisterhood a little bit. Do you want to explain why the sisterhood with your fellow ambassadors and past title holders and current title holders is important to you?
So I've been playing wheelchair basketball since I was very young, and right now I'm on a men's team. I really never knew that many women in wheelchairs. So I decided to join, and it's been nice. I've really enjoyed getting to know the ladies. I think having a sisterhood and a group of women that inspire you, that you can be a mentor for or a mentee to, I think is so important. I think women are the future. We have so much to offer, and this is a great way to become more comfortable with yourself and to encourage one another. I think that's so important right now.
Next, do you want to maybe touch a little bit on your platform and talk about what you've accomplished your first year as an ambassador and also these last 8 months? Obviously, COVID has affected everyone's progress in that, but even if it's personal growth, whatever that may be to you, would you like to discuss that a little bit?
Sure. So the year that I started Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania, I also began a career as the executive director of Center for Independent Living in Bucks County. I knew I wanted to kind of weave the two together, but I was getting my feet wet in both programs, so I wasn't really sure how I was going to do that. I wanted to base my platform around advancing the independent living movement. And I really thought it was an important thing to teach people about, because disability history really isn't taught in schools, and not many people know about it until it happens to them or someone they know. So, I really enjoyed it the first year. I got more used to, what I was doing and what I wanted my platform to be. But I think this year really helped me streamline my message in my platform. And right now I've been focusing on advocating for funding for home and community-based services. And that's a really important topic right now because of the COVID pandemic. Many people have died in nursing homes during the COVID pandemic. And so I've been trying to base a lot of my advocacy on advocating for funding for that. So it's kind of come like full circle, and it's still evolving, but that's kind of where it is right now.
And do you want to say, what does disability pride mean to you?
Disability pride means that you are proud of who you are. You are not ashamed of your body or who you are, and that you own your disability. And I think it's important to realize that you aren't your disability, but at the same time, it affects all parts of people's lives. For me, it affects every part of my life. I don't let my disability define me, but it is something I am proud of. So that's what disability pride means to me.
And for anyone who may be watching that's on the fence about, maybe participating in the 2022 year and applying, what do you say to them that if they're not sure if they want to do it or not?
I would just let people know that it's not a pageant. I have learned so much. I've been involved in the disability community since I was 10 years old. So I know a lot about disability, but I have learned so much through this program, just about, advocating for myself, learning how to have a platform, how to have a public figure page, just things that, come from different experiences. And I feel like the workshops and the programs that we participate in help with those skills. So even if you think it might not be a good fit for you, you never know what you might get out of this program. There's a lot to offer.
6 minutes is up. Thank you, Kate.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kate. The next person we are going to highlight is Jessica Keogh.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica Keogh. I am an ambassador for the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization. I am a white female. I have blonde hair that is currently pulled back in a tight bun. I am wearing a black short sleeve shirt with yellow flowers on it. And of course, my ambassador sash, which is teal, pink, and white. And I use a power wheelchair to navigate the world around me.
Sorry, I had to turn my lights on. It was getting dark. So I'm going to start off with, would you like to, say what your disability is, or, what you can about it?
Absolutely, thank you. I was going to say, when I was listening to other people answer those questions, that's a more complicated question for me. I was born with a physical disability. The best short answer is that it is a neuromuscular disorder that impacts my fine and gross motor skills and my ability to maintain any muscle mass. So of course that impacts my walking, it impacts my ability to breathe, and yeah, so it just, there's different things that it impacts, but short answer is a neuromuscular disorder.
Great. Well, not, you don't know me. But thank you. So the next question I have for you is, why did you choose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
All right, so I chose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization because Caitlin, Chasar, and I went to college together back in Edinburgh, and I saw how much she learned and gained from her first year as an ambassador, and I wanted that too. So I chatted with her about the ambassador program. And then I reached out to you, Barb, just to learn a little bit more. And I love learning. I am a special education teacher during the day, advocate all the time. But I wanted to continue learning, meeting people, growing professionally, and really fine-tuning my advocacy skills and just like networking, because like many of the ladies who have already said, the sisterhood bond is something that like you can only dream of. So all of those reasons have just been really my guiding force to join the ambassador program.
You touched on the sisterhood a little bit. Why is it really important to you?
So I know, Amanda touched on this, Caitlin did as well. Growing up, I did have people who are some of my best friends that use wheelchairs and have other varying disabilities. And I always felt most like myself when I was with them because I knew they got it. And I didn't have to feel like I needed to apologize for taking longer or dropping something. I could be completely myself. So being with these ladies has just been really like bringing back like some of that community, and just something that is really important because there aren't a lot of people with disabilities that I come in contact with on a day-to-day basis. And having that like sounding board to kind of like hash things out, figure out different life hacks, what works for you, what works for me. And just like having that friendship is really just, people who get it is really important to me, because having a disability can be challenging sometimes when society sees you as less than or different or what have you.
The next question is, would you like to talk a little bit more about your platform, and also kind of going into that, what have you accomplished the last 8 months as it pertains to what you've done within the organization and your platform and representing that?
Sure. So my current platform is the transition from high school to post-high school. As I mentioned, I'm a special education teacher. So the goal is competitive employment or furthering your post-secondary goals, college, trade school, whatever. And I know from experience that having a disability, different outcomes can be a little more challenging, and navigating resources can be challenging. So I wanted to eliminate that gap, or at least lessen that gap for students graduating high school. And that's my platform. So what I've done to work towards that this year as an ambassador is I've really connected with my school districts and working on educating and sharing my story about what it was like to become a graduating senior and not sure what I was going to do because of the physical supports that I need. So really the biggest thing I've done for that is really just sharing my story and making people aware of that there is a gap, and then sharing about any waivers or the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation that's available.
And next, to finish this up, because Kristin, how are we doing on time?
We have 2 seconds.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And if you guys would like to follow her, her Facebook page is 2021 Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Ambassador Jessica Keogh. And I'm pretty sure Vicky put her information in the chat if you guys would like to follow her journey and to learn more about what work she is doing with her platform. The next person we have is Laurah Zeek.
Hi, my name's Laurah Zeek. I'm a white female with blonde hair, and I have my black glasses on, and you really can't see it, but I have a black cardigan with like a multicolored flowered shirt, and I have my pink, teal, and white sash on.
What would you like to quickly tell everyone what your disability is?
I have spinal stenosis and paraplegia at L4. And so I have limited sensation and feeling from the waist down. So I'm not able to walk that well. I don't have much stamina as well. So I have to just not be able to move that much. So.
And would you like to let everyone know why you chose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
Well, a couple other girls touched on it. You know, I've used a wheelchair. I've been disabled. When I found out that I was disabled and had started using a wheelchair when I was in 8th grade. And I got to know Barb when we were in college. And, you know, through the years, I only knew her before her accident. So we just became friends, and then we kind of lost touch there for a little bit. And she kind of wrangled me in. She's like, you know, you got to do this. You got to do this. And finally one day I was like, you know what? I need to do this because there's so much in my small community that needs to be changed, not just what my platform is, which is accessibility in the area, but there's so much ignorance towards, you know, disabled people, and, you know, it needs change. So I am in a small community, so I think my voice can help in my community, then make it broader.
For sure. And I know you also have mentioned in the past that you really appreciate the sisterhood. So would you like to explain why it's really important to you?
You know, like when I was growing up, I mean, I was in junior high and high school whenever my stuff started, and no one in my school I was friends with that was in a wheelchair. And, you know, it was weird because people were mean. And I did have a friend, she has a back issue and she's short. So we kind of like stuck together, but she doesn't use a wheelchair. So, you know, having all these girls, you know, we relate to each other, and not just on the wheelchair level, but personal level. Like we're there for each other. And, you know, when something bad happens, they pick you up, and like, we're there. Like Jess K helped me with a situation with my nephew. So it's not, like I said, it's not just, you know, on the wheelchair level, but personal level as well.
And what does disability pride mean to you?
You got to flaunt what you have. You can't let it stop you. You know, a lot of people are kind of like shy with it, but you can't let it stop you. You have to go out there and just like, because some people like to hide behind it or are embarrassed to go out if they have a disability. But, you know, I'm not going to let it stop me. You got to prove to people that we're human and got to live life.
Exactly. And would you like to talk about, you know, a little bit about your platform and what you were able to accomplish these last 8 months, despite, you know, some of the personal things that you have gone through, you know, whether what you have accomplished is personal growth, whatever have you?
Well, my platform I mentioned is accessibility, because where I live, it's a very small historic town and places are not very accessible. And even in some like major businesses, the accessibility is not easy. So I want to try and get businesses and just public places accessible, because I mean, we need to have that there so we aren't stuck on the side, not being able to do the things that we like to do. You know, my nephew played football. I couldn't go to his games because it wasn't accessible, and that's not right. But as far as growth, I could not do much because of the virus and some other stuff that happened. But I will say that with our town where we live, a lot of people know each other, and I had some good meetings with some of the local representative and some community members that have some, you know, organizations, and they are willing to work with me whenever this virus slows down to help make change in the borough, because they see it. And I'm actually having a meeting next week with our senator, and I'm hopefully getting a meeting with the borough council to see if they're on board with me to start making the change that the borough needs. Probably more so personal, because I kind of am an open book, but some things I wouldn't. But now I don't care. I'm just going to go for it and do it. And people get mad, I'm going to go for it, because, you know, you have to live life.
And to wrap this up, if there's anyone that is thinking about participating in the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization, you know, and they're not 100% sure, what do you say to them?
You know, it can be nerve-wracking at times to make that decision to do it, but, you know, just do it, because, you know, even if you don't get the title, there is this ambassador program. And maybe whatever your platform is, you might not know that you're getting somewhere, but then you might be getting somewhere because somebody might see you or hear you, and they're going to then, you know, maybe do
Laurah,
something in there.
I hate to cut in because you were saying such good things and I love you, but your 6 minutes is up.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank
are
you,
so
Laura.
welcome.
Yep.
The next ambassador we would like to highlight is Megan Patrick. You're muted, Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan Patrick. I'm a white 34-year-old woman. I have brown hair. It's pulled back in a clip. Green eyes. I'm wearing maroon glasses. I'm wearing a purple jacket. A black top with white and pink flowers.
Great. Would you like to say what your disability is?
So my disability is spina bifida. So when I was born, my spine didn't form fully. So it occurred at the L3, L4 level. And so I use a wheelchair for long distance.
And do you want to explain why you chose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
So I chose the Miss Wheelchair organization because I wanted to learn how to be that person who didn't just stick by the sidelines anymore. I wanted to be the person who was in the middle of it all. And I wanted to be the person who was saying, this isn't right, this needs to change, instead of saying that it needed to change and not doing anything about it.
And I know that you have also, you know, made statements that the sisterhood is close to your heart. Do you want to explain why it's so important to you?
It's important because I would say growing up, I really had one good friend who also has spina bifida. And so I really gravitated towards her growing up because none of my school friends really understood what I was going through outside of school. And so I think the Miss Wheelchair program really gives you the opportunity to have those people that really get a different side of you.
And do you want to discuss what does disability pride mean to you?
So disability pride to me means that you're accepting of your disability as a part of who you are, not your whole person, but as a part of you, and you're not ashamed of it.
And you know, you have been involved for the 2020 and 2021 year as an ambassador. So you are one of the original ladies, along with Amanda and Kate, and Jess Gardner. Do you want to discuss, you know, what you were able to accomplish, you know, the first year and these last 8 months being involved with this, whether, you know, it's in your advocacy, and if you want to touch on your platform a little bit there, and or if it's something personal that you have got from it as well.
So my platform these past 2 years has been employment in the disability community, if that's something that you want to aspire to. And something you know, I was thinking about it, and I for a long time was thinking about going into a different job in the hospital that I work in. And I felt like, you know, if I'm going to advocate for employment for those with disabilities, I better, you know, do that for myself. So I got a new job working as a support associate in the operating room. So that's in the right direction of where I want to be as far as a personal goal. And as far as upcoming, what I want to do is kind of put employment into, make it more personal for people, and highlight different people who I know and I've grown up with who have successfully been gainfully employed, and, you know, put those stories out there.
And to wrap this up, to anyone who is thinking about participating in Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania and might be on the fence about it, or might be too scared, or might be shy, or might be insecure, you know, what do you say to them and their concerns, you know?
I would say that I was insecure more, and I just went ahead and did it. And it's been really awesome to, you know, be able to learn about different people in the community, and different, you know, ways that we can advocate for each other. Yeah, just do it. You're going to be glad that you did.
All right, Megan, thank you so much. And if anyone wants to follow her, and I forgot to mention Laura's too. So they also have their public figure pages. Laura's is 2021 ambassador, or Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania ambassador, Laurah Zeek. And Megan's is 2021 Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania ambassador, Megan Patrick. And, you know, I also wanted to remind everyone who is listening that applications are available on the website until July 15th. They are open. If you need help filling them out, please do not hesitate to reach out to us to help with that. We can help you fill out the Google form if there is any issues. And we are accepting 6 women to participate this year in the event. And, you know, the 3 ladies that are 2-year-long ambassadors, Megan's one of them. Megan, you know, give you a little bit here. Do you want to talk about the experience of the actual in-person event a little bit, and how you felt at the event? I know we're over 6 minutes,
Okay.
but I'm moving on to, I just decided to give a, you know, a shout out about the
Okay.
application.
I just wasn't sure what we were doing there.
Yep.
Proceed.
Yep, she's our last one. So do you want to talk a little bit about the in-person event and your experience there very briefly?
So the in-person event is awesome. I hate to like say that because everything's not in person right now, but and it was, well, the actual competition was it was really empowering just to be able to be around all these women who have these amazing platforms, who are actually and trying to change the disability community. It was really great.
Thank you so much, Megan. And the next person we would like to highlight is Noemi Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Noemi Gonzalez, and I am a 40-year-old Latina female. I am wearing a black t-shirt with my teal, white, and pink sash. I have curly, blondish hair, keeps changing color on me. And I have black and gold rimmed glasses. I'm always wearing gold earrings. Today is no exception. Behind me, I have a black curtain and a whiteboard where I usually write my goals. I have a incomplete spinal cord injury, and that's basically just damage to the spinal cord or to the nerves within the spinal cord.
Do you want to explain a little bit why you chose to be part of the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
Absolutely. I honestly just needed motivation. I personally needed a supportive support system, a sisterhood, the empowerment of community, because I needed to find the purpose within my journey at this moment in time, because I was newly injured. And I felt that this organization could be the catalyst to put me on the path to discovering something greater than myself and discovering my purpose. And it absolutely did just that.
And, you know, I know that you've discussed the sisterhood a little bit. Why is it important to you?
I believe that any sisterhood in any community is important, because women thrive when they create those connections, when they have a solid support system, when they have a sense of community, because they are able to get and give the support and encouragement within that safe space. And it can really contribute to someone's accomplishment, success, and self-esteem.
And what does disability pride mean to you?
Short, sweet, and simple, because I am still kind of fairly new to the disability community. But I just think it just means to be happy and content with who you are, exactly as you are, fully accepting yourself, your disability, and thrive in light of it, not despite it.
And I know that you have, this is your first year with the organization. And as you stated, you know, you have been, you know, newly in the disability community as well. Do you want to first discuss a little bit about your platform, and then, you know, talk about what you have accomplished these last 8 months, whether it's towards your platform or whether it's towards personal growth? You know, that's
Sure. So my platform is shining a light on inaccessible treatment facilities. And so I've been able to, as far as accomplishments, I've been able to brush up on my communication skills, develop analytical skills, enhance my research skills. I've been able to really gain the confidence and the knowledge that I needed to be effective in communicating with change makers, and really the empowerment and the importance of getting my story out there that's connecting and that's influencing change makers and engaging legislation in order to continue making the necessary connections to create changes and facilitate changes. And I've been able to make several partnerships with several different organizations in order to continue raising awareness, to include a youth program, which is more recent, that's going to be teaching the kids about peer pressure and gateway drugs and the just say no. And, you know, I think it's really important to hit the youth because they are the most impressionable. And I've been doing a lot of interviews to raise awareness. And so, yeah, I've just really been able to become empowered by the power of my story in order to allow changes to be made for treatment facilities to be fully accessible.
And what do you hope to accomplish these last 4 months of your time as an ambassador? And you know,
I would like to continue doing interviews for several different places and continuing to connect with change makers and state representatives, local legislators, in order to create systemic change, in order to further the public good and have an impact on the way that the world runs when it comes to having equal rights met. And I want to create changes and create policies in order to have my platform fulfilled of creating fully accessible treatment facilities. I think it is very, very important that my platform is fulfilled.
do you want to talk a little bit more about what you've learned about the inaccessibility as it pertains to treatment facilities in Pennsylvania for those who may be listening and aren't aware of the barriers?
Absolutely. So when it comes to the disability community, they are up to 4 times more likely to experience substance abuse. But unfortunately, the treatment facilities are not fully accessible. Now, in all fairness, some may have ramps, but it takes a lot more than just have a ramp outside. A lot of them are not accessible, fully accessible for wheelchair users, for many different kind of disabilities, to include the deaf community, the blind community, the hard of hearing, the hard of seeing community, and they just are not fully equipped to be able to handle people that have different disabilities. And I sincerely believe that if the disability community is up to 4 times higher to experience substance abuse, then treatment facilities ought to be 4 times more available or more accessible in order for us to be able to recover. I myself am in recovery, and I know if I can recover and I can excel and thrive the way that I have, other people should also receive that same opportunity without biased behaviors.
Thank you, Naomi. And are we at our 6 minutes? That's what I figured. Thank you, Naomi. And anyone who wants to follow along on her journey with the ambassador program, you can follow her on her public figure page at 2021 Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Ambassador Naomi Gonzalez. And last but not least, we are going to talk with Stephanie Ball. You're muted, Steph.
Hello, I am Stephanie Ball. I am wearing a gray t-shirt with my ambassador sash. My hair is pulled back in a ponytail, and I have dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. I am currently using a power wheelchair that is purple.
So would you like to tell everyone what your disability is?
Sure. I have cerebral palsy, which I was diagnosed with it at age 1. And I have lived with it, like I said, all my life. So therefore, it gives me a perspective on life, on being able to communicate the disability needs and desires of the community in a different way than most people who have required their injuries throughout later life.
And do you want to say why you chose to join the Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania organization?
Sure. I fortunately have been involved with organization in some capacity for years. Now, I actually ran for the title twice, did not get it. And now I became an ambassador because Barb hounded me for it, which I'm very thankful. But I just believe that this organization really empowers every woman with a disability, regardless of what their challenges are. Unlike many of the girls, I have a speech delay which causes it hard for people to understand me. So that's why I picked for my platform to do alternative communication through technology and education.
And do you want to touch on a little bit of what the sisterhood means to you that you've gained these last 8 months with the other ladies?
Sure. As mentioned before, the sisterhood allows for a bonding experience unlike anything else, because we're able to rely on each other, use each other as resources. We are able to relate and kind of sympathize and listen. And it also is cool because I don't know for many of you, but I live in small town Pennsylvania, so I am the only disabled woman in my community. So it's very hard to connect with other individuals with disabilities. So this organization allows for me to do that. And it allows me to become a part of something bigger than just my disability.
And do you want to talk about what disability pride means to you?
Sure. I believe disability pride means embracing your disability, whether that is good, bad, or indifferent, because like it or not, this is my reality and I have to be okay with it. And if I'm not okay with it, then there's a problem because it's not going away. So I better embrace it for what it is and just acknowledge that, yes, I'm gonna have bad days and good days, but it's a part of my journey.
And are we at our 6 minutes?
Yes.
All righty then. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And for anyone who wants to follow her on her journey, you can follow her at her public figure, Miss 2021 Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania Ambassador, Stephanie Ball. I want to thank all of our ambassadors for coming on this evening and sharing a little bit about their platforms and their disabilities and their experience with the organization. And if anyone has any questions for them now, we can go ahead and answer them. And after that, we will talk a little bit more with our current title holder, Jessica Gardner. Vicky, I guess, is there anyone in the chat that has any questions?
I am checking through. So if you have questions, please rock them in the chat and I will shout them out to the ladies to answer for you. Look, I called you ladies. Somebody would at me.
I'm fine with it.
We are, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do not see any questions in the chat so far.
Does any of the other ladies, the ambassadors, want to add anything that we weren't able to cover, very quickly, before we move on to Jessica?
I would really quickly like to just reiterate the community and the friendship that we all have, because as soon as each one of us were off, we were all messaging each other, hyping each other up. You did so good. And that's just a really great, it just shows and shines how much we really care about each other and how much we love each other and just want each other to thrive. So I thought that was maybe important to say.
You know what? I remember the moment that I was like, wow, I think they actually listened to me at the competition in 2019. So I know at nationals, our speeches are like, top secret thing. We don't talk about it with anyone. It's under wraps. We keep it quiet. And, that's what we talk about. We do it on speech night. And that's the first time anyone that whole week hears it. Right. And, I remember wheeling out in that lobby and seeing you guys practice your speeches with one another and give each other comments and feedback and constructive criticism and hyping each other up. I just was very, my heart felt like it was going to burst with happiness to see that kind of support and not worry that, oh, this person's going to steal my speech. Oh, this person's going to steal my idea, or, whatever. So I really appreciated seeing you guys really support each other's growth and success. And even when Karli got crowned, everyone was very happy and supportive of that. And, no one was upset or, making nasty comments or anything. So, I really, really, we try to keep it very positive over here and to keep it very empowerment oriented and supportive in these parts. So, yeah, you guys are awesome with that. Does anyone have anything else they want to add about anything before we continue on with this?
I was just gonna say, if anybody had any questions, you can always contact us on our pages, and I check like my messages. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
And as we're going, if anyone comes up with any questions, and if they're still on in the chat, maybe they can respond in that. But ladies, I know a lot of you have things to do to get ready for work tomorrow and stuff. So if you do need to sign off, you are more than welcome to sign off. If you would like to stay on, you're more than welcome to stay on. With that said, I am going to bring our current Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania 2021 to the screen again, Jessica Gardner.
Hi again.
Hi, Jessica. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say for the ladies before they leave?
Well, you all did amazing, and I love you. And you brought your game, and I'm so proud of you. It's a great moment for me.
And since we're on the topic of ambassadors, I think it would be amazing for you to talk about your ambassador experience, and that since that's where you start. And I know you and Kristin work very closely and stuff. So if Kristin wants to chime in, I think this could be a great free discussion type thing.
For sure. Really quickly, I would just like to say that, I am 100% there for the girls throughout their whole ambassador experience. If I personally am not knowledgeable about your platform. I do my level best to educate myself, and we work collaboratively, which I'm sure Jessica will go into, and I will be happy to mute myself again. So thanks for that moment. Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if Barb was going to talk again. But yeah, the ambassador program, as I said before, I think it's wonderful. You know, it's all the perks of being a title holder, but you don't have to fundraise. You don't have to worry about going to nationals. You don't have, you know, it's perfect. I mean, the Barb had asked the girls, you know, what advice would you give to anyone out there that's, you know, on the fence about it? You know, my thing is, what do you got to lose? Like, you know, you come into the competition, you meet all these wonderful, amazing girls, you learn and you grow, and the worst thing that can happen is you could be an ambassador. To me, that's a win-win. Like there's, you know, that's the, you know, it's you have nothing to lose. And you know, Barb and Kristin, they're amazing, and they'll help you every step of the way. I know Kristin is she works her magic for these workshops, and she will support you, and it'll be a growing experience. And please, if you're on the fence, if you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not very good at public speaking, or I get nervous, or you know, you're just questioning yourself, just do it. Because guess what? I was nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do public speaking. Are you serious? No, it's not me. But look, you know, you never know what can happen and what can come of it. So I'll get off my soapbox now, but I love the ambassador program. You know, here's the thing. One more thing. You know, if you don't win, if you don't wear the crown, you know what? You still get to promote your platform. You still get all the perks. There's no losers in this program. We all build each other up. And please join. And if you have any questions, reach out. All of us would be more than happy to help you. Now I'm done.
It's okay. The floor is currently yours, Jessica. So, you know, if you want to talk a little bit like what you learned during your time as an ambassador and how it really prepared you as your current role as a title holder, even, you know, that would be, I'm sure, very valuable for people to hear too.
So, okay. I think this is the first time I said this, and first time I said this publicly, but I am glad that I was in the ambassador program first, because guess what? It prepared me to be a title holder. It gave me a practice run. It allowed me to grow and get my feet wet and to just grow into myself, and you know, just prepare for everything that I needed to do. I just it was definitely a learning experience. You know, and I loved all the girls, and it just prepared me to be a title holder. So I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Can I just say that Jessica attacked the ambassador program with as much passion and effervescence as you're seeing on this webinar tonight. And that was really the key to her success, is that she saw every opportunity as an amazing experience. And so her optimism and excitement and zest for life is contagious. And so I can't say enough good things about Jessica and all of the ambassadors that you've heard from tonight. They are amazing women, and I would be thrilled to work with any of you that are on this call. And go for it, Jess. This is your spotlight.
Well, thank you so much, Kristin, because you reminded me of a point that I wanted to say. And the reason why I was so successful as an ambassador is because I was like, I'm going to use this opportunity and I'm going to put 110% into it. And I am going to pretend that I'm a title holder and I'm going to do this and it's going to prepare me. So I just was like, this is what you're going to do. You know, in my mind, I was working as a title holder, and that's what you have to do, you know, to be a successful ambassador. You have to pretend in your mind that you are a title holder. Don't wait for the title to put the work in. You got to put the work in and you got to put the effort in when you're an ambassador. So that way you're prepared for a title holder. Thank you, Kristin.
Honestly, Jessica's completely right, because, you know, if you put you put the work in as if you are a title holder, and, you know, if I always say the squeaky wheel gets the oil, if you keep making those calls and you keep, you know, harassing people and whatnot, you're going to get those opportunities, and you just have to really put yourself out there. You know, not everything falls in your lap, not everything is always easy. And I know Jessica was constantly on the phone making calls for these opportunities and stuff, and she really wanted to have her platform and voice heard. And the more she learned, she spent her first year learning so much about her platform in every way possible, and, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty of her platform. And, you know, it just kind of, you know, fueled her passion even further. And, you know, to see her take off and her growth was just, you know, phenomenal. And, you know, it really prepared her for this role. And I think, you know, when you put that work in, it's going to translate in some way. And you know, it kind of, she put it in the forefront of her mind almost every day. You know, she made it her priority, and she, you know, has had some amazing opportunities as a result of it as well. Some of her dream things she wanted to have happen and stuff. So I will let her, you know, speak on those a little bit.
Yeah, as Barb said, I had incredible opportunities that I never thought in a million years that I would, you know, be afforded. But it was all because of, you know, Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania, and I will always, you know, be forever grateful and indebted to the program. But some of the stuff that I got to do, I got to be a key note speaker at the possible graduation speech. For those that don't know what that is, it's a possible is a nonprofit organization that helps puppy raisers. Raising a puppy to become a service dog is very expensive, so they help and they help them financially. So at the end of the year they had a graduation and I got to speak on it, and I never thought that would be possible. I was the got to speak at the opening ceremony this year at Disability Pride. That was a highlight. Thank you, Vicki. And I was also on Pittsburgh Today Live. I got to speak with my representative, and I am, you know, working with him for service dog fraud, Representative Rigby, and I've just been able to educate so many people in my community. And I think that's the best part, is that, you know, providing people with the education they need about service dog fraud. And when people come up to me, you know, in my community and say, I didn't know it was an issue until you brought it up. And that is one of the most satisfying things, that I know that I'm making a difference. And, you know, part of the, you know, half the battle is just education, and just providing that education and advocating for service dogs and against service dog fraud. That's been a highlight.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, you know, a lot of people are like, well, you don't need a sash and crown to advocate. You know, while that is 100% true, you don't need one. Do you want to say the benefits of what you've learned about this power of this sash and crown in your last couple months?
Listen, you don't need a crown to advocate, but you got your sash, and that's all you need. People, they walk up and they ask you questions, and I don't know, the sash is magical or something. But yeah, people do listen to you and they take you seriously, and they just listen to what you have to say. And if you want to be an advocate, this is where to start. I mean, if you're like, I want to find my voice, come to Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania.
Yes, we definitely try to provide the tools and the resources to, help you get started, as it's just, the starting out and basics of advocacy, and sometimes it's a little bit intimidating just to jump in head first, So do you want to, talk a little bit about, your disability and, ultimately the decision of why you joined Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania in 2019 and how that came about?
So, well, I have cerebral palsy, and I was born 3 months premature, and that's what caused my cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is because of a lack of oxygen and to the brain, and so yeah, I just have cerebral palsy, and I've been had a disability all my life. I was diagnosed at 1 year old, and what was the second part of the question? I apologize.
And what led you to joining Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania in 2019?
Remember that,
Guys, I'm sorry to cut in, but Vicky put a note that we only have a few more minutes. So.
Oh, okay.
How about we skip that and you talk about your platform then?
So, like I said before, my platform is working to eliminate service dog fraud. What service dog fraud is it's when somebody takes, their pet or emotional support dog, and they either are under the misconception or do it intentionally, and they purchase a vest or they're online, and they misrepresent their dog as a service dog to gain entry into public places. That's what service dog fraud is. And many people think, oh, it doesn't hurt anyone, this is, it's not hurting anyone. But the reality is, it couldn't be further from the truth. It hurts the service dog team, the service dog handler, because if a service dog gets attacked by a fraudulent dog in public, and it might have to retire due to the trauma of being attacked. People don't get this, that it affects people's lives, and we depend on our service dogs for our independence. So it hurts service dogs and handlers, but it also hurts public access rights for people that rely on service dogs. Like, okay, if a business owner has a negative experience with an imposter or fraudulent dog that has an accident or is sniffing and barking and causing a ruckus, the next time a legitimate team comes in, that business owner is not going to want to allow them access, which leads to discrimination for us. And another aspect is that if the fraudulent service dog were to bite someone or be aggressive, so God forbid, let's say that happens, someone gets hurt in the community, but also if your dog is aggressive and bites someone, that's at risk of putting your own beloved dog at risk for being euthanized. Why anybody would take this risk is beyond me. Like, you have to think about, not only the community, but you and your beloved dog. Like, don't put it at risk. So I'm sorry I'm speaking very fast, but I'm trying to get everything in. So But yeah, that's my thing in a nutshell. Listen, and another thing is, many people think that you know, a service dog is too expensive, or they can't you know, afford the thousands of dollars that it takes to get one. Well, here's the thing. You know, organizations such as Canine Companions, they provide the service dogs for people with disabilities that are in need for free of charge. But if you do have to purchase a service dog, listen, it's possible through funding, through scholarships, through grants. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can't do the work for you, but I will direct you onto where to go, how to get the funding. I will help you. I will promote it. Listen, you can get a highly trained dog that you need, and it's not impossible if you are willing to put in the work. Please contact me.
Vicky, how are we on time?
We are just about done. I need to wrap it up for my interpreters so they can get to whatever the next thing is that they have going on. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I think that we could have conversations like this all the time. I think it should be done more regularly than just once a year. Because I think I could spend at least an hour just talking to each one of you about your platform. So maybe that's something we need to talk about. But thank you everybody again for coming out tonight. Thank you to Mimi and Brandy for interpreting as always. Thank you, ladies, my friends, that I'm getting more and more of you that I'm getting to know. Jessica, thank you so much for speaking at the opening ceremonies. That was amazing.
Thank you for the opportunity. Highlight.
Absolutely. And I want to remind everybody that the next event for Disability Pride Virtual PA is tomorrow morning at 10:30. It's called Everything You Want to Know About Substance Use, but We're Afraid to Ask. And we will see everybody very soon. Talk to you all. Have a very safe and a very restful night.
Bye.
Bye.